Hello and welcome to a video with me, Winner Android, to another video of Weekly Android, in which, once again, I only actually have one anime I'm talking about this week, which is the one that I was kind of thinking of doing this week last time, which is a Trimming Boy is a Realist. So, yeah, I'll just get straight to talking about that, I guess. Which is, yeah, I actually got decent bits here to talk about for it, considering it's mostly just me complaining about stuff. But, yeah, the story is kind of all over the place, at the very least, it feels like it's completely over the place, which I would have to take a guess has to do with the fact that it's apparently skipping stuff, which leads to things not making sense and just coming out of nowhere with some stuff because stuff was skipped and stuff like that apparently. So yeah, considering that stuff was skipped, yeah, it kind of makes sense to at least some degree, why the story feels like it's all over the place. So I don't think Sajo is a realist like that says in the name for the anime. Considering I think a realist would basically realize that the way he's not been acting is not good, and then adjust it as the way he acts accordingly. And not basically just doing a complete 180 from what he was, and basically cutting Natsuko out of his life, pretty much, for absolutely no reason whatsoever. So yeah, I really don't think he's a realist. And another thing with Natsuko, or Aika, yes, is that yeah, I'm pretty sure she's basically the worst character in this, purely because we are literally just given no reason to actually like her. She's just there, basically. She's a tsundere that is just there and nothing more. There is no reason to like her at all, which by default basically makes her the worst character in the darn anime. Because even the main character, you actually have at least one reason to like, my guess. And one final thing I guess I can complain about here is the animation. Guys, the animation, yeah, they really didn't put any effort into it, to be honest. Which is very clear considering just two things. Both has to do with Sajo's hair. First time, he apparently dyes his hair. Doesn't change color at all. Next time, Natsuko Aika is straightening out his hair and, well, doesn't change at all. Seriously, they couldn't even put in a little bit of effort in just changing the color of Sajo's hair, or making it so his hair was a bit more of a mess before Natsuko went and straightened it out for him. Seriously, they couldn't even put in that little bit of effort when it comes to animation. Just those little details there for specific moments in the anime. It's like, seriously. I don't think they really care at all about this darn anime. But yeah, that's me done with talking about this. So moving on to Lessons in Love, which I said I was going to get to this week with the new update, version 33, which is 19 main events and a last event for Nikki. Which I think is actually Nikki's first last event, I think. But yeah. Another thing is this is the first time we actually have main events that can be missed. Don't think you can actually miss Nikki's last event, though. But yes, this is the Beach Trip and Dorm Wars combined in this update. So Beach Wars basically, in which whichever floor won the previous Dorm Wars gets an extra 2 points because they didn't actually get their reward previously. So winner this. So that the floor that won last time gets an extra 2 points, which makes it so there's only two possible endings for the Storm Wars. Either the floor that won last time wins, or you get a draw, because it isn't possible for the other floor to win. But yeah, don't got as much I'm going to be talking about this time, I think, which I think is mostly due to the fact I don't really feel like much important really happened, but yeah, trying to kind of keep things in order and grouping things together. I will be starting off with Sensei here telling Makoto about the whole situation comes to Maki, the fact that she has figured out that Makoto is basically having sex, and gets Makoto to agree to talk to Maki about that. And also, he explains a bit more about resets, considering she had a bit of a misunderstanding about them. She knew that memories would kind of get reset with the resets, but didn't really think relationships not changing. So that was a bit of a misunderstanding on her parts there, which Sensei cleared up. Next thing is Nikki, I guess. She shows up to have sex with Sensei, in which later, when Sensei actually gets to the room with Imani and Wakana, well, Nikki basically just bluntly explains why she's there and asks both of them to sign a non-disclosure agreement before asking them to leave. Which, after a few hours, she goes over and asks if they want to join. So, yeah, interesting lost event for Nikki there. And also, oh, they both refuse to actually join there, so, yeah. Next thing, Ami seems to be trying to change still, kind of, which surprises everyone, because for a sudden change in behavior and everything, which she, of course, explains and stuff. Futaba and Imani come to a bit of an understanding with each other, with both of them kind of not being confident with their looks and stuff. And yeah, at this point, going forward, I would take a guess that they're probably going to be helping each other with their confidence issues at this point. Chika and Otaha have a bit of an argument, with Chika complaining about how Otaha's been treating Grin, in which Otaha admits that she doesn't really feel the same way that Rin does, so, eh. Ami wins the poetry contest that Wakana was doing, which it's pretty obvious that was going to be the result, to be honest. And yeah, Ami ends up explaining that she was inspired by her mother's poetry, which grabs Nodoka's attention and basically starts stalking Ami for the rest of the weekends there, basically, because she is interesting. Yeah. Really don't know what's going on when it comes to Nodoka with that stuff, but yeah, next thing, the confession contest. One of the two contests to actually talk about in this darn thing for the Dorm Wars. You know, it is between Sana and Otaha. First, you got Sana, who, without confession, Sensei ends up realizing how much Sana has actually changed, in which Sana, of course, points out how much Sensei has changed himself. And yeah, that's kind of all that I really felt like happened during Sana's whole confession thing there. Then Otaha's was basically just her venting at Sensei. And also telling him that she cheated on Rin, the whole kiss with Nikki before, which I honestly completely forgot about until I was going through the wiki taking these notes for the darn thing. So, yeah. Next thing is a survival contest, which started on the first day of this, I think, in which is between Ayane and Yatsu, in which Yatsu ended up getting back by the morning with her blindfold still on, because Yatsu's just being Yatsu still. While Ayane took an entire 24 hours, pretty much, to get back. And while she was in the forest, she ended up meeting the mysterious girl that we still have absolutely no idea who the fuck that is. But yeah, she ends up calming Ayane down and assures that her problems with Ami are going to get better, and guides Ayane through the forest, which, considering the fact that it took Ayane 24 hours to get out of the forest, she did a pretty poor job at guiding her. Just say. Later, Ayane ends up having a bit of a talk with Ami and tells her that she's not afraid of her anymore. And also tells Ami to stop lying and taking advantage of Sensei and Maya's love for her and stuff like that. And will basically be keeping Ami in line because that's what friends do, I guess. Something like that's what INA said during all that's there. So, one last thing that's kind of happened in this event. Two things, actually. Haruka's corruption has started with Nodoka. Just sum that up easily right there. Noriko tries to talk to Maya, and get all the drama from the past behind them and stuff, in which Maya just refuses still. So at least Noriko's trying to become friends with Maya at this point and getting all that behind them at this point. But Maya has absolutely doesn't want anything to do with it. Yeah. That's basically all the stuff that was in this update that I kind of feel like is at least somewhat important. But one last thing here that I will talk about is I think the italic narrator, so narrator that's basically always in italics there, I think might be the mystery girl. I think that might be who that narrator is. And also towards the end of the second to last event, there we had the bit with the mystery girl there, in which had some hexadecimals next to her, which I think might possibly be hinting at her name, if not actually outright telling us. But, yeah, I'm not exactly confident on that, considering, well, I like actual confirmation before trying to put a name onto the mystery girl and stuff. I almost forgot to mention this, but I also think she may also have some kind of special connection with INA, considering the past events where I think it was a happy event where she refused to change into INA and whatever was going on there. And then this whole thing that's happened here so far with her helping INA in the woods and everything. So, yeah. I think she has some kind of special connection with INA. No idea what that whole connection is, but it's very clear there's something there. But, yeah, that's all the stuff for Lessons in Love that I had to mention here. So, honestly, I don't even know what's going to be next for a darn thing in next version. Possibly reset, I guess? Maybe? I'm not sure. But, yeah, that is all that stuff. I literally haven't gotten around to playing Charles and Tainted Space at all this week because I had just been a bit busy doing videos for the week, considering I'd spent the entirety of Saturday recording basically, and basically had to split both videos for this week between Saturday and Monday, because otherwise I would have literally spent the entirety of Sunday editing darn things. But yeah, just didn't really get around to doing much this week, I feel like. But, yeah, next week I think when it comes to anime, I'll probably be doing the Tokinawa specials that's been released over the last few 2 months or something, I think. Probably see about watching those and talk about those next week or something. I'm not exactly sure. But I honestly don't even know what I'm going to do when it comes to stage games, if I'm going to be doing any of this next week. But, yeah. I guess I'll just go ahead and end things here for this video, since I honestly really don't have anything else to talk about. So that there is the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.